TWC has advice for your business about job applications and job descriptions. My name is Nina, and I'm about to get in your business. If you would like to know more about the topics listed below, click that subscribe button. Smash that notification bell. I upload new videos on Thursdays. On the Texas Workforce Commission website, there's all kinds of useful information. In my new series, Reading the TWC website, I troll the website of the Texas Workforce Commission, grab interesting information, and read it to you. Here are some quick basic tips from the TWC about job applications and job descriptions. Even though this information is found on the Texas Workforce Commission's website, it's good information for any business, no matter where your company resides. Listen to this information while you're working on a computer or doing other things. No law requires employers to accept resumes or applications if there are no openings, but an employer should either keep all unsolicited applications or throw them all away. Cherry picking could easily lead to disparate treatment claims with the EEOC or a state human rights agency. Job applications should solicit only job-related information. If a potential question for the application will not help determine who is the best qualified applicant, do not ask it. Be sure to ask about hours and days of availability for work. Let applicants know that if they indicate availability times that do not match the job position or the job description, they may not be further considered for the position in question. It is permissible to ask about identifying information, including contact information, prior work-related experience, prior employers, dates of employment, and rates of pay. Whether the applicant is at least 18 or a minimum age such as 21. Work-related certifications and licenses, including dates of issuance. Work-related education and training, including dates. Job reference information. Job-related criminal history and availability or restrictions as to the type of work, work schedules, and work locations. It is permissible to ask for an applicant's birth date, social security number, and driver's license number in order to facilitate a job-related background check. However, a company should consider obtaining such information as late in the application process as possible in order to minimize the amount of confidential information it obtains and the risk that it might be compromised in some way. Unless there is a bona fide occupational qualification or statutory or regulatory requirement involved, do not ask about an applicant's race, color, religion, gender, age, national origin, citizenship, disability, or genetic information. Are you at least 18? Do you have a current valid driver's license for driving-related positions? Have you ever been involuntarily terminated from a position of employment? If so, please explain. During the past blank years, have you been convicted of or have you pled guilty or no contest to a felony offense? If yes, please explain. Here are some examples of impermissible questions. Do you have children? This would be permissible if the job duties directly require employers to be a parent. Are you a U.S. citizen? Ask a different question such as, are you authorized to work in the United States? Are you a member of a specific type of religion? This is permitted only if the job is with that specific type of church and the duties relate to carrying out the mission of that particular church or faith. Are you married? What are your family plans? Do you have any handicaps or disabilities? Do you own a car? Do you own a house? Have you ever been arrested? At the end of the application, let applicants know that by signing and submitting the application, they give their consent for various things. The employer may verify any information given on the form. Any wrong or incomplete information can result in the applicant not being hired, or if the problem comes to light after hire, it can result in immediate dismissal from employment. The applicant agrees to any job-related medical exams or drug tests that might be required, and the applicant understands and agrees that if hired, employment will be at will. An example of such a statement might be something like this: I certify that I have fully and accurately answered all questions and have given all information requested in this application for employment, and I understand that any wrong or incomplete information on the form may disqualify me from further consideration for employment, or if it's discovered after I'm hired, it may be grounds for immediate dismissal. I understand that all such information is subject to verification by the company, and I hereby give my consent to the company to investigate my background and qualifications using any means, sources, and outside investigators at its disposal. I agree to undergo any type of drug and/or alcohol testing that the company may require at any time. Finally, I understand that submission of this application does not necessarily mean that I will be hired, and that if I am hired, my employment will be at will, and either I or the company may terminate my employment at any time, with or without notice or reason. I'm going to jump in here. This part here is not on the TWC website, and I'm going to say that if your company discovers that an employee provided incorrect information on any employment document, and your employment document states that immediate dismissal will be the consequences for incorrect information, you as an employer need to follow through on this. And I'm speaking from experience. I do not recommend, for example, keeping the employee and terminating when it's convenient for you or the company. If the employee is in the middle of a project, well, we'll just keep them until after the project, and then we'll let them go. Back to the website. The EEOC requires employers to keep solicited job applications for at least 1 year. It is best to keep them for at least 4 years in order to exhaust all possible statutes of limitation for various employment law causes of action, and the application for the successful candidates for at least 7 years. If EEOC investigates and finds that applications have not been kept, that is not only a record-keeping violation, but also potential evidence of intent to discriminate. The state of Texas has an official employment application form that illustrates the kinds of things that a job application should include. Under EEOC rules for the Americans with Disabilities Act, the ADA, what an employer puts in a job description is considered the primary determinant of what the essential functions of that position are. That in turn helps the employer deal with any ADA claims that might come about in the future, in case the question is whether an applicant or an employee is able to perform the essential functions of the job with or without reasonable accommodations. A good job description makes it much easier to deal with an unemployment claim if the work separation occurred because of a claimant's refusal or failure to perform the functions of the position. In a quick case, if the employee was aware of the job involved prior to taking it and later quits, then do the job agreed upon, the claimant would not have a good argument at all for claiming that he or she had good work-connected cause for quitting. In a discharge case, failing to do one's job can lead to a judgment of various forms of misconduct, including insubordination, avoidable negligence, failing to follow instructions, failing to do one's best, and so on. A good job description makes it much easier to measure an employee's performance and hold him or her to known standards, which is important for promotions, job transfers, raises, reviews, and corrective action. Any good job description will be specific enough to accurately describe the job in question yet flexible enough to include other duties as assigned. The company should make it clear to all employees that when the needs of the company or its customers dictate, their jobs will entail whatever needs to be done that is assigned by the supervisor and is within the employee's capacity to deliver. Be sure to include the requirement that part of each employee's job is to work the assigned schedule and comply with the company's timekeeping policy. I'd like to add that a properly written job description makes it so much easier to create a job posting when looking for a new employee. Laying a solid foundation at the start will ensure a smooth hiring process. My next TWC video will review what's on their website about references and background checks. Thanks for watching.